But I just think it's going to be a tough sell to waste a lot of time. And I really mean that, waste time on Coach Prime. He's Hollywood. Is he really a great coach, or is he simply just a showman?
And so here we go again. Welcome back to the Dark Times channel, and back at it again with another Dion video, and this time it's featuring none other than Paul Finebaum, and we already know his get down.
Colorado is nothing. They don't matter. They're irrelevant in the big picture of college football.
And Finebaum and Stephen A. Smith are going to be having a conversation as it pertains to Colorado and the 2025 season that's almost here.
I think it's all about Coach Prime. Can he do an encore? Listen, the season was a bust, the second half of the season. The first half had a lot of energy, and it had a lot of energy because of people like Stephen A. Smith.
Oh, really? It didn't have anything to do with Colorado winning 3 straight games? And that's only after having one win the entire season, the previous season with the previous head coach.
People like Stephen A. Smith showing up, giving love, and making that program relevant. Of course, it didn't hurt that they won the first couple of games, not against great competition, but they did it on a big stage. But Stephen A., I don't think anything's going to happen this year other than just a lot of white noise coming out of Boulder, Colorado. I think Coach Prime's already had a rough offseason. He snapped back at the reporters. I know you've dealt with that, and I'm not looking to relitigate some of the reasons why, but I just think it's going to be a tough sell for.
And so, of course, Finebaum is trying to minimize what Colorado did last season. We all saw Colorado go to TCU, a ranked TCU. They were ranked 17 at the time in which Colorado played them. And they beat them 45-42, in which Shedeur Sanders threw for 510 yards.
Everybody, Buff Nation who supported us, and all the hood that had my back, I thank y'all. God, this is good. Woo!
And then they followed that up by beating Nebraska 36-14.
Trying to make something happen. Touchdown, Colorado. And that's an old school Dion. Prime time. Dance in the end zone for Shedeur. That's his dad.
What can you tell us about what we should expect from Colorado for the rest of the season? Plenty more of this, I hope.
I don't think I stumbled or stuttered when I told you we were coming.
Not at all.
We coming.
Deion Sanders in 2 games has made Colorado a top 20 program in the country right now.
And then the following week, a rival school, Colorado State, a primetime game, nighttime game, double overtime game, thrilling game. They find a way to win, beating them 43-35.
Ruled it a sack. Picked off! Real estate ahead! Shiloh! Sanders! Showing him his shoe bottoms! Stunting like his daddy! Touchdown!
And so, of course, there was hype. And then not to mention it's Deion Sanders. We're talking about one of the most entertaining, one of the most electric players, one of the most electric personalities to ever do it.
Spinning today, and I don't care if they hear it in Boulder. I told them I took my hat off and I took my glasses off, and I said, when I talk to grown-ups, I take my hat and my glasses off. That's what my mother taught me.
I need you to do that one more time, but put these on. Watch this. These are the ones. Those are the ones. These are the ones. Yeah, you're going to get more out of it. I need you one more time. You got enough.
Put your stunner glasses at night. Put your stunner frames on. Put your stunner.
And so, of course, people are watching, and of course, they're going to have a level of hype around them. And I'm going to go ahead and say this about Shedeur. Shedeur Sanders is probably one of the best quarterbacks, if not the best quarterback, the best prospect in all of college football right now.
Michael, it was a wait and see. Coming from Jackson State to Colorado, how would Shedeur Sanders, how would his team adapt? How would they perform? They've been unbelievable. Shedeur Sanders, to me right now, is a guaranteed high first-round pick. I think when you look at the way he's played at Colorado in this Sean Lewis offense, the accuracy has been unbelievable. He was at 68% at Jackson State those 2 years. He's at 77.5, hasn't thrown an interception. He had 9 rushing touchdowns in 2 years at Jackson State. He can roll right or left. He can make accurate throws. He throws a great ball. He's unflappable. He looks like he's in control at all times. You don't know if they're up or down, how they're performing. It doesn't matter. If he stays at Colorado. We'll be talking about him next summer like we're talking about Caleb Williams right now. Number 1 pick guaranteed.
3rd down and 10 at the 48. Shedeur Sanders to the sideline. What a throw. Woo!
Because people are forgetting what he did at Jackson State. He balled out at Jackson State. And the only thing he's doing right now is the exact same thing he did at Jackson State. He's putting up the exact same numbers at Jackson State. His last year at Jackson State, he threw for 3,300 yards, 36 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. Phenomenal numbers. 158.5 QB rating. His first year at Colorado, playing behind a bad O-line, he threw for 3,200 yards, 27 touchdowns, and only 3 interceptions, with a QBR of 151. While getting sacked, almost double the amount of sacks that he did when he was at Jackson State. He got sacked 52 times and still had a 70% completion rating. And so this is why Colorado has the hype that they have around them. They got the number 1 player in Travis Hunter. As far as overall player, you can't argue with that. You got a player that does it both ways. And then on top of that, they got one of the best college quarterbacks in Shedeur Sanders. And so this is why people have a level of hype around Colorado. And so of course Colorado fans have a right to be excited, and people within college football have a right to be excited about Colorado, because truth be told, Colorado overachieved last year. They were coming from 1 win. They had 1 win the entire season before Dion got there. And they kicked off the season with 3 straight wins.
And they will not let this thing go away.
No, for the 4th week in a row, they are the biggest game in the country. I mean, I'm watching Sports Center come on at 7 o'clock every Sunday morning, and it's the same story. Colorado.
And then they lost Travis Hunter, and that was a devastating blow. When you're a team that lacks the depth like Colorado did last year, and you're relying basically on your 2-star players, and you lose to Travis Hunter, that's devastating. And so, of course, they came out against Oregon, and they laid an egg that game. I think the morale of the team was gone. They were playing in Oregon, and they were going up against a powerhouse, and so they were supposed to lose that game. And Shedeur Sanders was running for his life pretty much the whole game. But then the next game on the schedule, it was USC. Still without Travis Hunter, and they lost by a touchdown against the 8th-ranked USC. And one of the main things that they needed to address was the offensive line and the defensive line. And they did that. They went out and got the number 1 offensive tackle in the nation.
For the next 3 to 4 years. Uh-oh.
Wait a minute.
The University of Colorado.
I told y'all. He's a Buffalo.
Yeah, man, and if you ain't rocking with us and you say you're a dog, and you claim you're a dog, why you not coming to Colorado?
There you go.
Why you not helping somebody who look like you?
And then they followed that up and got one of the best defensive players of all time in Warren Sapp and added him to the coaching staff.
Trust what you see, Daddy. Trust your eyes, and them hands and feet gonna follow. The tedious repetition of the simplest movements, over and over. That 6-inch step, folk. That 6-inch step. That 6-inch step. Come on.
That's the Dion effect, because a lot of coaches, truth be told, wouldn't hire Warren Sapp, not because he's not qualified, not because he's not a great football mind, but because of ego. Let's get real for a second. A lot of coaches don't have the cachet to be able to handle a Warren Sapp. They don't have the pedigree to question a Warren Sapp. And so that's why a lot of coaches don't hire these ex-players, not because they're not qualified. It's because they don't want an ex-player, an ex-Hall of Fame player, dividing their locker room. If you got your coach saying one thing, and then you got this gold jacket wearing Hall of Fame NFL player saying another thing, what do you think those 18, 19-year-old, 20-year-old kids, who do you think those 18 and 19-year-old young men are going to side with? Somebody they grew up watching and idolizing, or a coach who hasn't won anything yet? Or maybe he has won something yet, but he never played in the NFL, and he sure as hell never got a gold jacket. But Deion Sanders is probably the one coach in the NCAA that actually has the cachet to be able to bring on a Warren Sapp, or any Hall of Famer for that matter. Because there's nothing that an ex-player has done that Deion Sanders hasn't done. Super Bowl winner, Hall of Famer, everything you can think of, every accolade that you can think of, he's got it. And then on top of that, he was a two-sport professional player. And so he's got the cachet and the accolades to be able to handle the presence of a Warren Sapp. But we're less than a week away from Colorado taking on North Dakota State. That's going to be an ESPN game, primetime game at 7 o'clock. And we'll see what's what. And we'll see what time it is then. But go ahead and drop a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think about it. And as usual, peace and chaos.